The Nigerian Senate has announced that legislative action on the proposed tax reform bills have not been suspended or withdrawn from the National Assembly. The leader of the Senate, while referencing reports on an earlier announcement made by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Jibrin Barau, at Wednesday's plenary session, describes it as a misunderstanding of legislative process.
The Senate takes off the day's business with a point of order from the leader of the Senate on news reports insinuating that the Senate may have bowed to pressure from antagonists of the tax reform bills. At Tuesday's plenary, the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barau, had announced the constitution of an ad hoc committee to interface with the Attorney General of the Federation and a halt of all legislative action by its Finance Committee pending the final resolutions from the meeting. However, the Senate insists that its actions were misunderstood and consideration of the bills were not halted.
Nowhere in our votes and proceedings was it stated that we suspended further deliberations on the tax reform bill, because we did not. And I felt it would be important to place on record, this Senate did not suspend and does not intend to suspend deliberations, consideration of the tax reform bills.
If the Senate governor or any stakeholder in Nigeria, where, no matter whether the person is a religious leader or a businessman that has problem with the bill, you know where to go to. Public hearing. The Senate will not be bullied.
The Senate directed its Committee on Finance to proceed with all necessary consultations on the bills alongside a newly constituted ad hoc committee to engage with the Attorney General and has a 6-week deadline to conclude and revert to the Senate for further legislative action. However, the Senate reshuffled composition of the ad hoc committee, exempting principal officers of the Senate.
Our decision to make the minority leader chairman was to show our transparency.
Are we disagreeing?
No, not at all.
We are saying that when we met in closed session,
yes,
we did not include principal officers. So there was no time that the Senate said that principal officers should be members of that committee. It would not have been headed by Senator Abamoro because of ranking and because of seniority.
What we agreed is that Abamoro will be the chairman.
Yes.
And we have met also, the committee met on its own. So you're absolutely right.
The Nigerian Senate wants to make it clear that the tax reform bills are still very much on the table and a work in progress. They are also sending a very strong message that they won't be bullied or intimidated while doing their job in serving the best interest of Nigerians. TVC News, Abuja.